The living room, where the family meets to discuss issues, any issue which may be bothering one of the family members. That's what we do each and every Tuesday on WAC 90.1 FM with Ricardo Mitchell and DJ Aaron 868. We have casual conversations on serious topics, from sports to culture, mental health to economics, relationships to life lessons. Join us each and every Tuesday from 7 to 8 p.m. on WAC 90.1 FM. The Living Room, casual conversations on serious topics.
It is now 6 p.m. here in Trinidad and Tobago. I don't know what time it is where you are, but I'm glad to know you're locked on to the True Nation Station, WACK 90.1 FM, wherever you are.
Culture crazy.
First and foremost, let's kick this off as we always do, all right? Must give thanks and praises to the Almighty for granting us the gift of life and seeing another day. No matter what time of day it is, you must always
give thanks.
Secondly, we must say thank you to those that went before us, and we are not just talking about our ancestors, the original inhabitants of Trinidad and Tobago, the Taínos and the Kalinagos, because we all know, accept, reiterate, and they say it with the chest and sing it loud at Columbus Slide. But also to our brother in music, Tony Prescott, where the P this week stands for.
Well, this P is not for Tony, but this P this week is pathetic. The P this week is pathetic.
Which pathetic display are we talking about? Because there were two pathetic displays over the past week.
Well, the patheticality that I was referring to was at first our failure to qualify for the Cricket World Cup. That was the first one. Since 1975, we've had reasonable showings in this thing. And we failed to qualify. Against who? Who it is? Who it is do the damage? Zimbabwe, Scotland. Who we lose the last game to?
Scotland. Last week I denounced out myself as being a West Indies fan. Friday night, when I got home, I was watching Sports Center. Okay, I love my sports regardless.
Right.
Right, I was watching Sports Center, and when I woke up on Saturday morning, because I was going to an early morning workout, the TV, I turned on the TV before I was getting dressed, and West Indies was playing. I was like, wait, look at that, boy, what a coincidence. And I saw them struggling at 160 something for 7 against Scotland. You know what I proceeded to do? The old Aaron would have sat in front of the TV and watched the game. I went and do a beach workout.
Right.
When I was on the way home, I happened to check the score because it came up on Twitter, because I'm still following the team.
Right.
I saw that Scotland convincingly beat West Indies with 7 overs to spare by 7 wickets. Scotland. But again, I openly say that this is what is happening now is not a result of the current administration or the current players. This decline has been taking place steadily over the past 25 years or so. I understand that we have a very talented group of players in front of us, but what motivated Brian Lara, Gordon Greenidge, Desmond Haynes, and generations prior is not motivation enough for this current crop of players. We have spoken of the fact for overhaul for how much years and generations.
Yeah.
But the overhaul just not just systematic. It is also motivational. Because you cannot pay men pittances when they are traveling the world and making millions.
Right. And then you'll touch your loyalty and all those types of things and pride in people's face. When, listen, loyalty don't keep the lights on, you know.
I'm not even loyal to one shoe brand, and I have real shoes.
Yeah, in fact, I meant to tell you something about your shoe behavior this last round, sir.
Oh, no problem. No
I
problem.
see you pick up a red shoes the other day.
But
we can figure it out.
the other pathetic shoe, the other pathetic showing that came up, and I'm glad they bring up red. It comes on the red, the white, and the black.
6.
No, don't forget the 6. It started with 4.
Right.
What we went there for?
Boundaries then. Boundaries. It's cricket.
4 and 6.
It's cricket them fellas playing.
The football team went and play cricket. And they
get hit for 4. And then we get hit for 6.
What irritates me the most is the coach of the Trinidad and Tobago football team in a pre-game speech said, it doesn't matter if they're playing for the Premier League or wherever they display. We is who we are. In 2023, that's how you motivating players?
Yeah, I want to make something very clear. In terms of these athletes' performance, I am not criticizing them. And the reason I'm not criticizing them is because I would feel a kind of how, right? If this young boy with AK at
Levi Garcia.
If Levi start to talk about Ricardo Mitchell's enunciation on air, at the end of the day, these guys are trying to perform professionally in environments that do not facilitate a certain level of professional performance. I am holding the administration and the systems accountable for creating the environments that producing these results.
You want to know something, Ricardo? Big up Nicholas Paul, the cyclist from Gasparilla that flies the flag high at all these different CAC meets all over the world. You know where Nicholas Paul is going to train?
Where?
Switzerland. You know why some of the best talent in our country doesn't even bother to go and play in the Trinidad and Tobago Football Premier League or whatever the name of the league is? It's because when you look at the league on TV and the state of the Arima Velodrome, that was a sand patch during a top tier league in our country. You can't even go in the Manny Ramjan and play and watch people in the covered stands because the stands is deteriorating.
Yeah, I will tell you, I used to go and take my little laps and thing in the Manny Ramjan and the car park unsafe.
The Atto Bolden car park is as wavy as Maracas Beach.
And this plays second in our race up to during the week here.
Who's that?
It's not Jareem, no? It's Jareem, boy?
Yeah, Jareem ran in a meet in Louisiana, I think it was.
You think he get a silver, if I'm not mistaken?
And that is his thing. Our top tier athletes are training out of Trinidad and Tobago because we do not have enough of the facilities here. And you want to tell me, now again, this is no knock on the athletes that go and represent the red, the white, or the black, or the maroon.
Right. I'm not athlete bashing here.
We're not athlete bashing, but what we are saying is you cannot want top class performances in mediocre environments.
You know what, Aaron? As we are on the word performance, I want to take a minute, because I think literally about a minute is all we have before I get to bring in this very, 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 very special guest. And I would use some of the time to emphasize the varies. But anyway, I want to extend congratulations to all of the students who wrote the SCA exam 2023. Because you know what? You guys as a generation are facing things that we've never faced. I want to commend all of you and to emphasize how proud I am of all of you for facing these exams under these conditions. And I know that this is just another step on your journey to success. Don't measure footprint. Don't watch who reach further or who do better. Just continue walking.
Answer that. Not everybody or all the children that wrote would have been able to pass for the school of their dreams. But the school that you pass for, make it your dream school. A school doesn't define you. it refines the educational experience which you are going to get. Because I don't want to sound like a Debbie Downer here, but it could be lost very quickly at a prestigious school, but find yourself faster at what somebody will call a junior sec. Right?
Yeah.
Embrace the journey that you are walking on, because you are walking your own journey.
Yes.
You're not walking the journey that your parents walked 40 years ago.
But I drop in a TikTok on that in about 10 minutes. But I also want to point something out. Yes, it's a step on your journey, but one of my favorite people in the world only end up in my class because he repeat.
Oh, that's not me. Okay.
No. I would have to repeat about 7 times to end up in a class with you, Aaron, because you having an age crisis right now. Not identity crisis, an age crisis. Yeah, I realize you're calling some weird numbers again, but you know you're exercising and you're feeling young, so I go allow you.
But I'm not feeling that young again enough. Right. I don't know. I don't know who tell me to tell my trainer, hey, we gotta push hard this month, bro.
Nice.
This is the first
bigger mariachi.
This is the first workout of the month, and I regret that third.
That is the fourth day of the month. Hey, happy 4th of July to our listeners abroad and the abroad listeners who end up home for 5.
Yeah, bro. Had something else I wanted to say.
You better say it quick.
Yeah. This weekend I made the journey to Point Fortin. There is the road condition there is deplorable. But what stood out to me is there's a pothole on the pavement.
My word.
So to the Ministry of Works and Transport and the MPs in the areas, please, I beg you, don't just focus on fixing the highway. Focus on fixing the main road too. Because the main road is what we are using now. And car parts ain't cheap. So if you have potholes on the pavement while trying to evade the pothole on the road, you're not giving me a chance to give me bearings at ease up. I'm begging. All right. With that being said, we are going to welcome to the living room right now. Even though we didn't introduce ourselves, I'm DJ Aaron 868. I remind you that culture is my code alongside my bro with no fro, but a flow.
Ricardo Mitchell, the social stage on the global stage.
And now we welcome into the living room the lovely voices of Borish to introduce our guest.
Welcome to the living room. Welcome to the living room. Welcome to the living room. Welcome to the living room.
And we are back in the living room after that lovely introduction from the Serenados, the lovely songstresses of Warish. Aaron, don't judge me. I'm a little excited because in the living room this evening, we have a very, very special guest. I call her Dr. New Cousin, right? But for those of you who have spent any time on Facebook, I'm sure you would have seen or heard some brilliant 2 to 5 minute segments called Top Tips with Dr. Nadya Watson. So, how are we doing this thing, Dr. Watson or Nadya?
I don't care. I was born Nadya Watson. I wasn't born with a DR in front of my name, so it doesn't bother me at all.
Yeah. Well, then I feel for the purposes of this conversation, tonight you are Nadya.
Very good. I'm very fine with that and comfortable.
Yeah. And welcome to the living room with DJ Aaron 868 and your new cousin Ricardo Mitchell.
Listen, thanks for having me. And when he's saying cousin, we are actually very close cousins. My father is his first cousin. Yep. And we recently found that out. So so that was exciting news, and the more the merrier, I always say.
Yeah, excellent.
Well, all in all, I like to be awkward sometimes, right? How you find out that all is family?
I can't really remember. He will have to tell you because it went beyond that. The person that was actually doing the cooking and the decorating is his brother.
Yeah.
So how did we make that link?
Right. So well played, Aaron. Well played. So how this thing, well, I can't say how it started. It started apparently in St. Kitts and then came down the road. But how we end up here was I was invited to a 70th birthday, a 40th birthday, and a 10-year vow renewal for a wedding as a +1. Right? My brother and his girlfriend, his longtime partner, they do decor for small events, and they got recommended to do the job. So he ended up in Tobago working. I ended up in Tobago as a +1, and another cousin, Gerald Patrick, he called me.
Yes, that's it. Those
Yes,
two-
he called me using some very colorful language as to why I'm not in Tobago, because he's seeing my brother here. And then he goes around telling everybody, that is your cousin, that is your family. So when I got there the next evening, there was quite a lively session going on. You know, I entered, shake some hands, get some hugs, had a sip or two, and was introduced to a side of the family that I was aware of, but had never actually met until then. And in the melee, I see somebody dancing wasi in a circle. I say, but wait, what's going on here? And then I hear, but you know, there's a cousin. I say, well, look at that. You know, she's a doctor. I say, well, look at that.
Yeah, I was behaving myself. I don't know what you're talking about.
Very demurely.
I'm always on my best behavior.
Best behavior. So on that note, afterwards, well, you have a sterling reputation medically. Everybody recommends you, and then, well, over the course of time, I got an opportunity to visit you as well, and I understood so much more about why people are so comfortable about visiting your practice. And by the way, what's the name of your practice?
The Healthy Living Medical Practice. And right in Vistabella, of course, it's just me and my assistant. And well, I have two assistants, but one is on the weekday, one is on the weekend. And it's a very close-knit sort of office. And we try to make the place, as you can see, the place when you enter is kind of like a zen. It's supposed to make you feel calm and relax. And that's what it's all about. You enter a place to feel better, and that's what we try to do. And yeah, and we chose, I suppose I chose my assistants based on that as well, because from the time you enter, you feel comfortable with them as well. But being a doctor to me is just like being myself. This is me. It is no different kind of person. This is how I am. This is how I speak. In fact, a lot of times when doctors talking to me and they're using medical jargon, I was kind of be like, I'm gonna go and look that up. What's that word? Because I understand certain things and I explain it in very plain everyday language. And people may think that that is something that I am trying to do, but no, that is just how I am. This is me in a nutshell. And I suppose because I grew up, with my mother and father, our upbringing was very down to earth. My father would let us run wild, no shoes, no clothes. We run in the backyard anyhow we go in. We had freedom of speech. We could be whoever we wanted to be. And also when we had to interact with other children, so we would go to these camps. People would have these upscale summer camps. My father and my mother wouldn't take us to camps like that. We went to camps with children that were homeless or single parents or impoverished, and that's how we grew up. So it was at that point in life, you just think this is a normal everyday thing, that we mix with everybody. But as I got older, I realized, that was the best upbringing I could have ever had, because now it just makes you who you are, just natural, just easygoing, no stresses. I don't have to pretend. I don't have to act any differently. This is who I am, and I could mix with anybody. I could go anywhere, and I am comfortable. That's how I could put it. Yeah.
As you say that, and they say that is usually down to earth jargon and stuff like that. You have a good handwriting.
Better than most doctors. Yeah, but sometimes I'll write and sometimes I can't really can't even read what I write myself. So it get bad. But let me tell you why. It have real big words in medicine. How you expect me to remember how to spell all them words? So when you see I write an M and a something, and then I can't remember how to spell the rest, I just draw a line. So I feel that's why all doctors write badly. I think it's because none of us know how to spell properly. And so we kind of make the word up so you could the pharmacist could kind of read that that's what they're saying. And then when we scribble the end, they say, yes, this is what this drug is, or this is what this is. So yeah, I feel that's what it is. So that is my problem. I think that is the main reason I will have that kind of scribbly handwriting. But when I do know how to spell it, my handwriting is perfect. Yes.
You know what? I would take that answer and use that with pride. But Ricardo, also, not because it's your family, that mean that she go in and get away from the most important question that we ask any of our guests.
Correct is right.
Very good.
Nadya, we are not going to ask you where's the scene, or what's the gist physicist, or what's the word hummingbird,
or what's up, doc,
or what's up, doc. We are going to ask you, how are you?
Okay. Oh, like no long nobody ever asked me that. How are you? Well, I always say that I am good. I am in a place now that I am extremely comfortable. In 2018, with the entire pediatrician scenario, I was a doctor there. And of course, we were just thrown out into the wild. A lot of people think that, people don't know the truth. And when we were kind of tossed out into the wild, I had to form a private office in 2018. I always had the office, but it wasn't really functional. And I was very scared and extremely anxious because now I'm accustomed being a person that extremely, my independence, I'm a fiercely independent person. And for that space of time, I was vulnerable. I am never vulnerable. That time was like that. But now I am who I am now. I am back to being fiercely independent and more confident. And everybody, my cousin was asking me about this red lipstick thing.
Tell them.
Part of that confidence is that as you get older, people will always ask me, wish you were 20. But never. I don't ever want to go back to that time. Because now, even at my age, which I will not tell you.
20,
even
25.
at my age,
25.
That's it, 25. Even at this, you learn things every day, new things every day. And part of being bold and showing off who you are was this red lipstick, because I have never worn lipstick, and this has only started happening about, let's say, the last month. So now I have 500 of them, and I'll be wearing them every day. All right. So if you ask me how I am fantastic. Yes, I would say that at this point in time. Yeah.
Lovely response. And the reason I asked about this red lipstick was because on my YouTube feed, Friday, I believe it was, I see it was flowers reach the office.
Flowers reach the office.
And then you talk about the red lipstick too. I say, but what going on here? And when I do the maths and I look back, I say, it's really a new look.
It is, and it may be part of, as I said, it may be part of my midlife crisis. Earlier man is going by a red car and suddenly look for a young woman. I just bought red lipstick. This is part of my midlife crisis, and I am loving it. I don't know if I'll change my mind next few months, but as of now, this is my new look.
I now understand why Aaron buy them red sneakers the other day. I see what is going on.
Whoa.
It makes sense.
Man in red, he's going through a midlife crisis.
I have always been a man with a keen sense of style.
You realize all the bedroom red? That's what's going on in the back there?
I'm looking at it, yes. Mhm.
I also think I'm too young to be going through a midlife crisis.
Yes,
You
okay.
you're only as old as you feel, Aaron.
And today I feel 18.
I agree. I mean, sometimes maybe I shouldn't say that, but sometimes I find myself, if you see somebody walking down the road and they say, oh, this person very good looking, I realize the person is 21, and in my brain, I still think I'm 21. And then when they pass and they say, excuse me, Tanty, then I realize, oh my God, all right, Nadya, get yourself together, get a grip. You're a Tanty.
Nah, don't do me that. Don't do me that. The first time I get an uncle was from a man who looked older than me. I nearly cry when I reach home.
Yes.
What you doing, man?
Don't come by my car. When I wind down my window, you ask me, Tanty, how much you want the tomato. I am buying nothing from nobody who addressed me as Tanty. But yes, you do feel, I don't think people feel older. They feel the same way they've always felt. So in your mind, you still think you're 21 or 25. But, we have to start to adjust our lives depending on our age. So like, as I always tell a lot of, and there's a little bit of the doctor talk going to happen here. I always tell people, as you get older, you have to start taking more and more care of yourself. I find a lot of people don't. Maybe in San Fernando more than Port of Spain. I don't really go up there too much, but in San Fernando, I find a lot of people do not take care of themselves, do not exercise enough, and we are flooded right now in hospitals with patients with diabetes and hypertension, etc. And simple things such as even waking up in the morning and doing something for 15 minutes. And when I tell women, especially, I tend to do a lot of my talks for women because it's all about confidence and taking care of yourself means that you wake up and you brush your hair, you have a bath, you put on a little makeup. Doesn't matter what's happening, it generally makes you feel better. And if you run on a treadmill for 15 minutes, you actually feel confident. You put on clothes and no matter, you look in the same way as you did yesterday, but it brings this sort of confidence inside of you that you feel like $1 million. So that song, I just feel.
And I feel like I just win $1 million. Yeah.
My husband has always told me, has always mixed up all kind of things. So thanks for that. But yes,
No problem.
that's the way that you feel. So I am big, especially in my office, about self-care. So I don't know how the husbands feel about it, but I send a lot of my patients to my dermatologist, and then they have to buy lots of products. So I don't know if the husbands like me very much, but all of that is part of self-care. Don't ever let yourself just walk around and feel sad just because you have an illness or something going on with you. If you put energy within yourself, whatever you put into yourself, it will shine out. Okay, so that is my belief, and I suppose that's how I say that's how I live my life, including how I deal with my office. Yeah.
Yeah, that put people business on the road and thing, but having seen how you deal with your patients, and now I'm going to use that term here. There's a difference between a patient and a client, because sometimes somebody come to do some business with you that don't necessarily directly reflect treatment per se. And a man came into the office with some belligerence, and you give it 2 minutes to see if the assistant would have been able to handle it, and then you very politely excuse yourself. And I heard you address the gentleman, and the confidence I felt in you as a doctor skyrocketed, because I said to myself, this is not a woman who's dealing with illness. This is a woman who's dealing with people.
Yeah.
I was impressed. And you know what the funny thing about it is? You are right. It's not like you put on different hats in different rooms, The same Dr. Nadya Watson that you're meeting in the office is the same one you will meet on the top tips, and the same one you will meet, or almost meet, if you go KES and realize that all in the same party and all they didn't get a bounce up because,
Carnival, let me tell you, Carnival, that is my favorite, other than Christmas, of course. Carnival is my favorite time of year, let me tell you. Hitting every single thing the week before. Don't mind by Monday, I can't do no more because I don't do anything beyond Juve. And one of the reasons I tend to do the Juve is my dad, as I party a lot with my father, so he likes to do the Juve, so as long as he's doing it, I there with him. And some of the fets that he go into, I go online with it. It's one of the best liners they could ever go with. It's be real fun. Yeah. So,
definitely a cultural ambassador. We will see this man in a panyard, and then you will see him in France. And he coming back home for Juve, and it was amazing stuff.
I tell you, like when we were younger, people don't really believe that, but when we were younger, we used to sing. Me and Nikki, my little sister. Some people might know her as this real mama, but when we were young, we started singing for the junior national calypso competitions and the King and Queens, which was run by NJAC at the time. And yeah, we used to be in the finals and singing the Kaiso and all kind of thing. I stopped it when I got to a certain age because people have at that point, I suppose people just decide what an image should look like. So I used to get teased a lot, and people used to call me Denise Plummer want to be and this and that. And I decided, see me, I do it because I love it. But this part of it, maybe it's time for me to move on and just study my books. So, I went into that direction. But as a child, I go in Panorama since I could walk. I singing Kaiso on stage since I was small. I grew up amongst, Kerwin Dubois, never remember me, but Kerwin Dubois and I were really good friends. When we go on little tours all over the place, he in the backseat, and he always had this thing about him where he used to always be hearing a tune in his head, and he was always extremely talented. So yeah, so all of that upbringing, I'm telling you, it is, yeah, I would say you never really appreciate it until you get older and you'll say, how much people could really say they do all of them kind of thing. And at the end of the day, doing all these things just make you just feel relaxed and easy. That's what I'm saying, So it's all the things that you experience as you grow that are lessons, and then it makes you into the person that you are today. And every day I just learn something new. So just because I am 25, not mean that I don't learn new things every single day. But I am at a comfortable place in my life now. A very happy place in my life now. Yes.
Yeah, well, one of Aaron's long-running credos has been, the day you stop learning is the day you begin to die.
Oh God, yes. Yes.
Yeah.
I think practice until I can't walk no more. And people say when you retire and do what? It's not like I do a job that I don't love. So like for my birthday I went and worked. People say, why you went and work? I say, because I like it. I love it. It's not like I go and torture myself when I reach in my office. It'd be fantastic on your birthday. That's when everybody drop cake for you, flowers for you, chocolate. Why the hell I go stay home? I go in for that.
Yeah. Aaron drop a roti for my birthday. Aaron drop a roti for my birthday, so I could relate to that sentiment.
Very good. Yes, you must always go to work on your birthday. What kind of nice thing this happen? Yeah.
But that's actually something you said that touched me, because when Petrotrin went down and people start scrambling trying to figure out what they're going to do next, who looking for oil and gas work everywhere else, and who was mechanic looking for mechanic thing, I stop and I say to myself, Father, well, not to myself, but I sit down and I say to myself, Caro, are you going to go back into the thing that you couldn't wait to get out of, or you're going to take the opportunity to find the thing that you could do until you die? The idea of retirement, out the door for me. I want to do it like Alex Trebek. He hosts Jeopardy until he was done. I want to find a thing that I could do until I am done. Not until it done, until I done.
You're right.
Yeah.
That's what it's about. Taking a sip of water here.
Yeah, man. Toast in my Dingole cup.
Cheers. Yeah, you are very correct. For me, of course, it was a devastating thing because you don't know when you start a practice, two people coming to see you in the week. You know what kind of bills to pay, mortgage, child going to school, this, that. And it is a scary thing when we got released. But I must say that most of my peers, if not all, they all settled and we're all doing well. So I'm happy about that. However, I must say that I still have a lot of patients that are still going through very, very, very hard times. And I think people believe that all of us went home with $10 million. If I went home with $10 million, I would be in Malibu right now, or some very far away place on the beach, just relax the rest of my life. Instead, I have to work. All right. So I think because people thought all of those things that they don't get that sort of sympathy. But I have patients that come to my office and sometimes distraught. They've lost their homes, they've lost their marriages. Some of them had to leave and go to Egypt, and so they separated from their families. It's not nice. The whole scenario was not nice. But we get into all of that. I don't know. I still wanted to say that because, just so that the public would have a little bit more understanding as to what really went on when that occurred. Yeah.
No, we let them go of that, except for one top tip that came out of it. Oh gosh, only be kind.
Yes.
Be kind.
Yes, be kind. It is a thing. I don't know if it's all over the world or if it's a Trinity thing that especially women. I really don't understand this thing. Women must support other women. We have enough what her name is? Nicki Minaj, Kylie Jenner, J-Lo. We have this as now the look. This is what we must look like. So we're already at a stage where we feel we have to look a certain way to be accepted. We have to act a certain way to be accepted. We have to do all of that while working and take care of children and, wash clothes, do dishes, mow lawn. Listen, it have a lot of single mothers out there. So why it is that we don't support each other? Because if we come together, then there will be nobody out there feeling like, okay, you let's say you dress up, you think you dress up to your best. You walk down the road, you're feeling nice, you do your little 15 minutes exercise, and you think you're looking hot. Why would you walk up to someone like that and say, oh God, girl, why you put on all this weight, girl? It is just the most unkind thing because you don't know what situation that person going through. You don't know if that person husband treating them bad. You don't know if this person getting licked at home. You don't know if this person just feels depressed inside. And you tell them something like that. And they go home and whatever little bit of confidence they had left, that gone,
Yeah, you quench it.
So I keep, in fact, that was my second video about being kind. Because one is when I say all these things, I do all these top tips, especially for women. And the one thing you can tell me is that my face looking fat. I can understand that because why I am here is not about this or nothing. So, I'm here because I want to educate. I want to give you free advice. Because not many people could afford to walk in a doctor's office for $300 and $400. So, that's what motivates me to do this. And when that comment, well, now at this stage in my life, that comment was like nothing. If it was probably like 2-3 years ago, maybe, and I get to it. But this time I was like, what?
She gave away.
Yeah, I just did it because I wanted to say it again. Women, please be kind to other women. And I will go over even to with my sister, Nikki, because she does a lot of, she's big into everybody when you go out with Nikki will use nobody. People pelting you aside to go and hug she up. So that's basically how it is deep. But you know, because I am her sister, Nikki is who she is. Exactly what you see on social media it's not a pretense. That's how she is.
Yeah.
She's a very loving mother. She's a wonderful mother, wife. She's a very brilliant person. She's an actuary. You know how hard it is to even pass an exams to be that. So, you know, for women to tell her things like how your kids feel about your nipples showing through your outfit. Well, let me tell you something. I didn't even notice that. I was so busy with the content of what she was saying, and I was also looking at how beautiful she was looking as a mother of 3 children, doing all of these things and still coming on social media to give. She's sort of a person that she tries to boost your confidence as a woman. It's okay to cry. It's okay to feel like you want to slap your children sometimes because how stressful it is. And that's the kind of comments that will come out of a woman's mouth to Nikki. You know, and those are the things that upset me greatly, you know. So hence that I don't think that will be my last video about being kind, because I know at some point another woman will tell me something again and I will have to repeat myself, you know. Yeah.
Nadya, by chance, did you watch last week's episode of the Living Room or tune in to work for that episode?
No, what was it about? Tell me.
What you just said was one of the overarching comments which Ricardo and I discussed in last week's episode. Right? If you didn't catch it as yet, you could go on YouTube, search for DJ Aaron 868 and click the Living Room playlist and look for last week's episode. Right?
Okay. Yeah.
That was one of the overarching messages. That as people, as citizens of humanity, that we need to be more kind to each other, that we need to be more wary, that you don't know the battles that somebody is fighting in private, that you're going on a post on social media, or even when you see them on the side of the road, your first comment to them is, "Way boy, you get fat."
Yeah.
Or, "Way boy, you lose plenty weight, you're sicker." You don't know the battles that someone is fighting. So,
and you don't find it strange that no matter if you're looking fat, you're looking skinny, they will still find a problem with you, right? There is no in between. Is okay, like yeah, what we're gonna do? You're looking so marasmic, or fat.
Either all over the place or you're looking dry.
Yes, and I find like if I haven't seen somebody in years, you think I studying what they look like? I'd just be so happy and grateful that I get to see and hug this person. I have a very, very good friend of mine. Her name is Kathy. Kathy, I'll tell Kathy to listen to this show. So Kathy is my age and she has 4 kids and she just had her last son. And she knows that he brings joy to my life, even though she is in Australia. And a lot of times she will send a lot of videos of him for me. And you think I'm watching anything else? All I see there is this beautiful woman who cares about me no matter what I'm going through. She's there for me. She knows how much I love seeing her kids. Even though I can't touch them, I can see them grow. And she always takes that time to do something really nice for me. So that's how you have to see people. You don't see people based on anything else. And because she is that person, to me, she is one of the most beautiful people that I have ever met. And if everybody could start thinking like that, maybe this will be a different sort of place, right? Spend your money and make some memories. go to Disney World with your children and stuff, instead of doing Brazilian butt lift. Do something that will give you memory and spend time with people that you love, and stop trying to mimic all these foolishness in social media. That, of course, now that I am on social media, I now realizing is a big deal.
I actually subscribe to that. The other day, Ricardo, when we went to boys' school to talk to the young men, and you told them that between the both of us, I am the fun one. That I would pick up and go on the beach or do whatever it may be. I'm not gonna lie, it takes a lot out of me, to be, what's the word I'm looking for here? Be random.
Oh, sorry, this is me actively listening.
Thank you very much. It takes a lot out of me to be random. I am an over planner. I planned for World Cup in 2026 to go to the States, God spare my life, to be able to witness one of the greatest sporting events in the world. I am planning for that in 2023.
Yeah.
But I'm not planning to say, you know what, for Christmas, I'm going to make sure and spend time with my family to make a lasting memory with them. Because we all understand how fickle life is. You're here today, you're gone tomorrow. So, go ahead.
No, I was just about to say part of it is going to the World Cup, as they say, because that is a major memory that you're going to make there. But in between, of course, yeah. In fact, I think I go and how big your suitcase is that it fit in there?
I'll travel in real light for that. I'm buying all the clothes from now, and I'm sending it to my aunt, one or everybody who are planning to stay by. So when I leave in here, I'll leave in with my hand luggage.
All right. Okay,
coming back with a full suitcase.
Okay, so there goes all my plans for the World Cup. Anyway, so but you're right, and in between that, people should be making memories every single day and utilizing the little that they have to do fun things that at the end of the day, you ain't going with nothing, Yeah, just how you're leaving just with your hand luggage, you're going, when you have to leave this, you're not even getting to take that. All you will have is your memories. So be kind, be nice, spend time with your loved ones, and do what you enjoy. All right, so that's my big motto. Do the things that make you happy. And that don't mean if you like to drink from you, go and do that every day. That is not that is not the message.
Because if you go and do that, you could end up with diabetes and hypertension.
Yes, and worse. All right?
Cirrhosis and...
Right.
Right? So when I say do things that you love, I mean it have people that love to go to church and they stopped going since COVID and things. And I try to tell them, you know what, it's time to get back up and go to your church. Do the things you love. Get yourself back up and start doing your gardening and all of that. Do what makes you happy, because you never know what tomorrow will bring. And you know that during that COVID season, you saw many people just died. Parents, even little children and things. You never know what will happen tomorrow. So every single day, be kind and do something that makes you happy. I was going to have a margarita today because that would have made me very happy. But what made me even happier is when you told me about this segment. So I say I have to put that margarita aside and never do this.
Yes, because for months we talking about getting you on the program. Months. I see you in Tobago. I see you when we went it was the
fundraiser for National.
Yeah. Right. Put a bounce up and say, listen, we had to organize this thing. And this weekend, in case all they didn't know, her birthday was on Saturday. Nadya's birthday was on Saturday gone. And I could think of no better video birthday card than to sit down and talk to Nadya. Not about the topics that we're going to bring her back on to speak about. Because last week, Aaron and I, in discussion, when we were talking about the way that we speak to people, something came up. We've never done an episode on PCOS. right? Right, and at the end of the day, so many women navigating this thing very, very quietly, and people watching them and have all kind of comments to make about how much size they put on or how they're getting on, so and all of these things women navigating very, very quietly. And we think it's time to have a conversation on that.
I did a top tip, a very recent one about PCOS. I think I did it sometime last week. So for all out there that listening, go and look up the top tip. It's under the Healthy Living Medical Practice, and it's called polycystic ovarian syndrome, and in brackets I put PCOS.
All right, great. I will even put we'll put the link to it in the description and all.
Very good. So I said that almost everything that a woman requests, I try my best to do a topic on it. So
that's really good though. That's really good.
That's one of the things that a lot of women requested. So I did a top tip on it, so they could go and look at it and be more educated about it.
And also to the men out there, go and watch it too. Because it's not just about what the woman endure. It's also about your handling of the situation with the woman in your life. And the only way you can handle it properly is if you know about it.
You're very correct, because they have men out there that might say, "Oh God, how you put on so much weight?" Imagine, your husband is supposed to love you and cherish you no matter what, telling you things like that. So, yes, it's good for them to listen. And I'm not saying every man, of course not, but there are mean people out there, not just men, also women. So sometimes it's best for them to educate themselves before they open and spew rubbish, right? So you're correct.
Well, unfortunately, Aaron, you're going to have to use your big P word,
What happened?
Really?
Yeah, it's that time already. We getting close.
We are getting perilously close to the end of tonight's program.
Hey, you're talking already?
Yeah, exactly. Time does fly when you're having fun and all.
Yeah, I was having a great time.
Yeah.
It would have been more fun if Ricardo had provided us with some margaritas or something of the sort, but it's cool,
All right, well, hear the plan, right? When we're doing one of our follow-up segments, we'll do it in person at the Healthy Living, right? Healthy Living, let me get the term.
The Healthy Living Medical Practice.
Right.
So, but we'll do it after hours so that we could have the margaritas there with the door closed. We don't want nobody coming in and you have to stop and go to work in the middle of a margarita. We're not doing it like that.
Then people stop coming by, man.
We're looking for that.
And smell alcohol on me, because that's the end of my practice. You understand?
But on that note, Nadya, what is our family practice? Tell us a little bit about the practice before we go.
I'm a family practitioner, but I specialize as a family practitioner in palliative care. So yes, I see all patients, but my passion is palliative care, where most of those patients, I go to their home. So after I finish my office hours, which is 9 to 4, on the weekdays, we then head on the road and we go to New Grand, Barrackpore, Point Fortin. We go all over the place to deal with patients that are really ill and cannot even make the drive to come to my office. Now, some of them can, but that's rare. So the majority of my life is either in the office or on the road. So I'm going to do a little top tip where I'm actually going to steal away my daughter's school closing next week. She knows how to do a kind of fancy smanchy thing, and we're going to do a day in the life of going to one of them kind of places with the kind of roads. Right, so I'm going to do a little segment there. That'll be our next top tip coming up soon. Yeah. So that's basically it in a nutshell. And with palliative care, people don't really understand what it is all about, but it is me doing everything else. Like, a big part of what I do is pain management. So no matter what's happening with the patient, that even if they are dying, they will die peacefully and pain-free if I can help it. Yeah.
Amazing, and we cannot wait. I would say to have you back in the living room, but next time we bring in the living room to you. Because one of the things that, well, a lot of the WAC listeners navigating is aging, and our plan is to help people age as gracefully and with as much dignity as possible. And for the people who are not in that stage yet, they're dealing with family members who are in that stage. So any information we could get to help people navigate a very challenging season with a little more grace, a little more understanding, because as Aaron so rightfully say, you can't handle it properly if you don't understand.
Yeah.
Right? So many topics that we're going to have your back on for.
Yeah, we'll talk about caretakers as well, because people forget about the caretakers. So I'll do a segment on that as well, so that caretakers can also take care of themselves, so that they can handle the patients that they have to deal with. So I know our time is up, but it was so wonderful to be on this segment. Thank you very much for having me, and I hope we can do this again. Yeah.
We're planning. I'm gonna design my nice little banner for this segment and thing, because listen, we have plenty of work to do out here, and people who do any work because they care, rare. A lot of people do any work there because there are opportunities, and nothing wrong with that. But what I'm saying is that there are people who are doing the work absent opportunity because they care, right? And my job is to help people find a voice in that, and if they find it already, to encourage it. So we're gonna keep expanding this living room. We're going to do as much as we can to help people in whatever way that we can. So I really look forward to more conversations with you.
Yes, beautiful. Anytime you just let me know, I'll be here.
Excellent.
Right.
So, well, I guess I could do and say this is Ricardo Mitchell, the social sage on the global stage, thanking you for joining us in the living room. Remember, guys, as we heard earlier, the hourglass is opaque. We don't know how much time remains. So whatever you're doing, be good and be safe. Right? Thank you, Nadya, aka Two Tips with Dr. Nadya Watson. Aaron?
Yeah. Thank you very much, Nadia, for taking time away from your margarita and also your family to spend with us inside this edition of the living room. We didn't get too much into your specialty or your field, but we got to learn a lot about you. And sometimes the interviews, when you have specialists in, or you have persons of a certain profession in, you do spend time understanding that there's a person beyond the profession. And thank you very much for opening up with us and talking about your red lipstick, as well as now that I know, your astonishing resemblance to Denise Plummer. I went and I Googled up it, and I'm going to lie, I did, and you really do look like Denise Plummer. Right?
Yes.
But we won't tell anybody that.
So it's another secret. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So
It was fantastic. I really enjoyed myself. This hour flew by.
Yes.
That's the plan. How I could invite you back if you didn't enjoy the first time?
Yeah. I had a really fun time. This was fantastic.
Yeah.
Anytime I'm back, just let me know.
Nice.
All right. So thank you, Ricardo, for your time as always. And thank you to the listeners of WAC 90.1 FM for always tuning in on a Tuesday between 6 and 7 for the living room. I am DJ Aaron 868. I remind you that culture is my code. And I always tell you that love is the currency. So spend some today. Let somebody know that you love them, guys. Up next is Mr. Desmond with the big band. He'll be taking you all the way up till 10 p.m. All right. So keep it locked to the True Nation station. And I'll be back on this Friday for the Friday night fete. I'm going to say lime, yes? Friday night fete.
All right, big man, I hear you.
Keep it locked.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Enjoy your evening.
You too. Take care.
Right.
Oh, okay, cool.
It was Friday or Saturday? Saturday.
Saturday was my birthday, yeah.
Oh, happy belated birthday.
Thank you very much. Yes. As you see from the flyer, I'm 25 years old.
That's what we're talking about.
Yes, I had my first child when I was 1. It's a miracle.
21, so
Modern medicine.
Modern medicine.
I'm 21, so I totally understand.
Oh, geez, on ages.
They're the same page. Very
Exactly.
good.